Hey everybody, Daniel Fusco here, and welcome to today's 2-minute message. Now, when you take a step of faith and you begin to grow closer to God, it almost feels like all hell breaks loose. There's so much resistance to us moving forward. And I think it's important that we talk about this because my pastor, John Henry Corcoran, used to always say that it's really impossible to steer a parked car. And if Satan can pick a person off when they're moving slowly, it's so much easier than when they're barreling down the highway. You can imagine if someone's just pulling out of a parking space. It's really easy to stop them, but if they're going 70 miles an hour down the highway, it's really hard to stop them. And so really what I have found in my life is that Satan puts up as many roadblocks as possible when someone is in their infancy and growing in their faith, because it's so much easier then. There's so many more things to stumble over because you're moving slowly. So I just want to encourage you, if you're in that place right now where you're starting to grow closer to God and you feel like, man, this is getting harder, I want you to be of good courage because it shows that you're right on the right path. There's a great book that came out called The War of Art by a man named Steven Pressfield. Now, he's talking about it not in the spiritual sense, but when you're trying to pursue the things that are unique to you, he calls it the resistance. And I thought it was interesting as I read that book. I'm like, he's talking about it in like just trying to write a book or compose or learn an instrument. But really, it's the exact same thing that goes on for us spiritually, that there is resistance for us to become the ultimate version of ourselves. And Satan is not just going to let you grow in your faith. He's going to put up as much resistance as possible to keep you from growing, but you have to keep pushing through it. And what you learn is that we grow through the resistance if we don't lose heart and we keep going. Now, what I want you to do first, I want you to share this message because listen, there are barriers to growth and Satan throws up a lot of roadblocks to keep you from progressing spiritually. Now, in the comment section, I want you to tag somebody who you watch who's finding their way around, finding their way through the resistance that they see in their own life to follow hard after Jesus. I want you to tag them, encourage them, say, listen, I see how you're getting at this. I see how you're not stopping, how you're continuing to go even though there's resistance. And by you just doing that, you're going to be encouraging them to keep on keeping on, that the purposes of God may come to pass in their own life. God bless you today.